So here he is, Bakhodir Jalolov, Olympic champion. Two-time world champion, two-time Asian champion. Last lost over this 5-round format in WSB in 2018. He has been all-conquering in IBA boxing for such a long time. 12-0 as a professional with 11 knockouts. He is unstoppable at the moment.
And now, bring out his opponent to the ring, fighting out of the black corner, representing the Kingdom of Bahrain, is Danis Latypov.
So Latypov, originally from Ufa in Russia, now boxing for Bahrain, became their first ever Olympic boxer in Tokyo. Ran into Mohamed Abdullayev of Azerbaijan early on and got knocked out. His coach Tony Davis, who's just up on the ring apron there, has been getting some good work for him. Has been sparring Anthony Joshua, Lawrence Okoli. He did a bit of WSP back in the day for the Baku Fires.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening. Your main event of the evening taking place here live around the world as we come to you from Abu Dhabi, UAE, is your feature bout, proudly presented by Mr. Umar Kremlev of the IBA Boxing for 5 3-minute rounds in a men's super heavyweight plus 92 kg division matchup. This bout is proudly brought to you by Gold Caravan Travel Agency, Nirvana Investments, and of course our general partner, Gazprom. This bout is sanctioned by the IBA in association with the UAE Boxing Federations. Your officials ringside, Mr. Walid Jarrah, our IBA technical supervisor from the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. Your 5 judges being represented here tonight ringside, scoring this contest, Yakov Petrofin from Estonia, Kabilan Saya Shok from India, Jamila Borkoeva from Kyrgyzstan, Sarah Buhlel from Tunisia, and finally Sultan Al-Wali right here from the United Arab Emirates. And when all the action begins, your head official and man in charge of all of the officials, your technical inspector, Mr. Chris Roberts, OBE. And now, this is truly the moment you've all been waiting for. Coming to you live from the fight capital, men, Abu Dhabi, Al Imarat. Let the fists fly! Reintroducing first, fighting out of the gold corner. This man stands at a 200 centimeters tall, weighing in officially at 115.35 kgs. Ladies and gentlemen, he wears the gold trunks with white trim, presenting the former 2019 IBA Men's World Boxing Champion and the current pro boxer with an undefeated, undisputed pro record of 12 wins, with all of those big 12 wins coming in by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, Muhtaram, Khonimlar, Vajanoblar, Khushkelitzislar, Uzbekistan, Sarosio, Alpamishe, Uzbek, Okhlani, the big Uzbek, Bakhodir Jalolov. And now, for the final time of the evening, introduces his opponent, fighting out of the black corner, This man stands 195 centimeters tall, weighing officially at 105.5 kgs, presenting the current 2022 Stranja Tournament silver medalist and the first ever Olympic qualifier from the Kingdom of Bahrain, fighting out of Manama, Bahrain. Please welcome Danis Latypov. Ladies and gentlemen, our fighters are ready. Referee Luca Vadilonga will now be giving his final instructions to the boxers.
Okay guys, watch your head, no punches back, no low blow, no holding, touch your glove, good luck.
So quite a big height difference between those two. You could see that as they faced off in the middle there, about 10 kilos as well. Jalolov just getting down on one knee, flexing that neck. Latypov, as I say, has been working hard in recent times. These two met in the quarterfinals of the Asian Olympic qualifier, and it was Jalolov, of course, who won. I say of course because he hasn't been beaten in the 3-round format since the World Championships in 2017 in Hamburg. I was there. Kamchibek Kunkabayev, who managed to get a couple of wins against him in the amateurs, one in WSB as well. Got the nod that night, but since then, over 3 and 5 rounds, he's been, well, he has been invincible. Boxing out of the southpaw stance, the pair of them. Jalolov just trying to keep this on the outside, using that jab. Latypov has got to try and get inside that jab. That's the challenge. It's not easy. He's got such good basics, Jalolov. Keeps those feet the same distance apart and then just steps in looking for that left hand. I saw him in the UAE in March for a pro fight against Kamil Sokolovsky, and he stopped him in the 5th round. Sokolovsky, not somebody who gets stopped lots. When he does, it's by fighters like Jalolov, those top bracket amateurs generally. Just flicking that jab, backhanding that jab almost the way he throws it. Gets that whip on it right at the end. No knockdown there. Balance just went as he came forward there, Latypov. Coach just telling Latypov he's got to move that head, and he's absolutely right. If you get fed that jab when you're trying to work your way into range there, then you're going to be in trouble. Did well there, stepped off to his right-hand side, through the jab himself. Took those on the gloves, but they're heavy, those shots from Jalolov. Gets up tight there, snuck through with a left hand, Latypov. There's that cuffing left hand. He's just trying to sling that in round the back of the guard. Jalolov, right on top of you with that front foot. He's so tall, that front foot will just make you feel very claustrophobic all of the time. There goes the bell at the end of the round. Little nod there from Jalolov to Latypov. Didn't box at the World Championships in Belgrade, interestingly, Latypov. Just fencing with the jab there. Keeping a tight guard, not letting much through there. They're still heavy, those shots, you'll feel them. But nice and compact. You cannot give anything away against someone like Jalolov. So into the second. It's the final fight of this IBA Champions Night. And Jalolov has been one of the most dominant of champions in IBA boxing in recent times. The other one that comes to mind is Andy Cruz, world champion in 2017, 19 and 21, and Olympic champion. So he's had a similar run, maybe even a slightly better run. Heavy looking left hand there from Jalolov. He steps in with it. There's plenty on it. Just telling Latypov he's got to keep that head on the move, because Jalolov is always looking to line up that big left hand, that straight left hand. And again there, that one crunched through the guard. That was a solid shot. Goes down to the body and then just changes the angle and gets that one in around the back of the guard. And these are damaging punches. It was exactly what the corner were worried about. He threw the first one straight, and then the second one, he just came in off the angle slightly to try and get it in around the back of that right glove. Land it around the ear. But he took them pretty well, Latypov, to be fair to him. You can't take too many of them. There's that straight left again. It's just really solid basics from Jalolov. He uses his height, he uses his reach. He establishes the jab, then he looks to put the left hand on the back of it. He doesn't really just step into the middle of the ring and throw that 1-2. He builds into the fight, no matter who he's in against. It's a good formula. It's what you see the best fighters do. Snatch of the left hand a little bit there, Jalolov. That's good from Latypov. He saw the left hand coming that time, just stepped off to his right hand side. Didn't go back in straight lines. Took himself offline and avoided it. Got to be careful on the ropes here. Got to be careful, because Jalolov, just being told off by the referee for the use of his lead hand there. Some referees don't like that. Kind of teeing their opponent up with the right hand, and I kind of get it, but for me this is boxing. It's not an illegal blow. And he's warming to his task there, Jalolov. He got some big shots through in that round. And there's the one that just comes in around the back of the guard. And that was the straight left hand, the more straight left hand. But he avoided that one, as I say. He just turned around his front foot there and got himself out of the firing line, and that's what he needs to continue to do. After he won the gold for Uzbekistan in the Tokyo Olympics, they put him on a stamp in Uzbekistan, Jalolov, which is a pretty big honour. I think the only way you could do better than that is if they put you on a banknote or a coin. And if he were to go to Paris in 2024 and win another gold medal, then I definitely wouldn't rule that out. Latypov with a decent looking jab at the start of the round there. Jalolov just touching with that lead hand, not looking to really plant it. More measuring the range with it for the left. He got into distance there, Latypov, but almost ended up too close and didn't really have any room to work. Covering up well there, Latypov, as he was pushed back into the ropes, didn't let anything through, either to the head or to the body. just trying to punch down with the left hand there. Latypov's not been too expansive here. I can understand why. I think he's a bit worried that if he opens out, then he's going to leave himself open. He's not being completely negative in there. He's trying to get punches off when he can, but doesn't really want to find himself hooked up to the ropes, because that's when Jalolov just looks to really step in. He managed to ride that left pretty well there though, Latypov, sinking into the ropes. There wasn't much left on it by the time it got there. They just want him to be a little bit busier, Latypov, the corner, when he does let his hands go. When he does get close enough to let his hands go, rather. Through the jab there into the body, and they just wanted him to follow that up. And I do just wonder whether Jalolov might have half an eye here on his return to the Uzbek National Championships, because he's due to face Lazizbek Murodjonov in the quarterfinals. I thought him coming here would see him abandon that competition, but I've learned today that maybe not. They're going to try and get him back to box in the next couple of days in that quarterfinal and just resume action, because it's pretty strict in Uzbekistan. In most federations, they want you to box in your national championships if you intend to represent your country in the international vest, and that's only right. But a dispensation has been given for Jalolov to come over here and do this, but it's then his responsibility to make sure that he's in a fit state to box when he returns from the United Arab Emirates. At the minute he will be 3 rounds down. A fighter in those national championships as well, actually. There's a kind of mini Jalolov in Uzbekistan called Jahongir Zokirov, who I saw win World Youth Gold in Poland last year. Big, tall southpaw, and does quite a lot of the same things that we're watching Jalolov do here. But Latypov, as I say, he's covering up pretty well there. You'll still be feeling them, but he just uses the ropes there. Take as much off these as he can. So 2 to go. I wonder whether Jalolov will just try and click through the gears a bit in his 4th or 5th round and go after a stoppage, or whether, as I said, given his situation with the national championships, he'll be happy here just to go about his business and see what happens. The old adage is that if you look for the stoppage, it makes it less likely to come, and I know what people mean by that, but I don't think it's necessarily always true. A little bit clumsy there from Latypov. Just touching with the jab. Jalolov looking to try and line something up with that left, but Latypov just in the nick of time there, I think, stepped off to his left and navigated his way off those ropes. That was good from Latypov. Dipped those knees, moved the head, got onto the inside, but when he was there, he didn't let his hands go, which he could have done. Midway through round 4. Just reaching for that 1-2 there, Jalolov. He's found it increasingly difficult to get really good purchase on those shots, basically because Latypov is looking to pull his feet out. Ride them as best he can. Little slip there. Latypov into the final minute of the round. That's a body there from Jalolov. Final few seconds of round 4. Jalolov need to try and just widen that left hand a bit, but again he's doing a decent job here, Latypov. It was never going to be the case that he was going to be gung-ho here and go after Jalolov. That wouldn't be wise at all. Nice pack on the back of the neck, and Tony Davis up in the ring with him. Former GB coach, somebody I know well. Again, just on the ropes there, he's not letting too much through. That's not where they want him to be, but when he does find himself there, he's actually got his wits about him. He's fully aware of just how to sink into them and take a bit of the sting off those combinations. So, fifth and final round. Bakhodir Jalolov, the Olympic champion, 2017, 2019 world champion, rather. Asian champion. He's won the lot, he's got the set. I don't think Latypov's going to do anything crazy in this round. Getting through 5 rounds with someone like Jalolov, I think will give him some good confidence to build on. As I said, he's only 22. Hasn't got bundles and bundles of elite amateur international experience, but a good amount. A silver at the Stranger tournament, which is one of the most famous, most well-established tournaments outside of the Continental Championships and World Championships and tournaments of that kind of ilk. He won that in 2020 ahead of the Olympic qualifiers, the Asian qualifiers, where he got beaten by Jalolov. Got through to Tokyo on ranking. It was a strange old qualification process because they managed to finish that Asian qualifier. In the end, they finished the European one. Started in London, then finished in Paris. They never managed to get the American one off the ground at all. And everything had to go on rankings, and that worked for some fighters, it didn't for others. And as a result, the likes of Sean Davis and Duke Reagan of the USA, who had turned pro and wouldn't have been able to go to the Olympics, Team USA don't cater for that, found themselves qualifying due to their ranking. And it would have been crazy for them not to go in that unexpected circumstance, and they did, and they both medalled. So threw up a few unlikely scenarios. It's the final minute of round 5. It's our final fight of the night. Landed the left hand there, Latypov. Good jab from Jalolov, and I think he'll be in decent enough condition to resume hostilities with his rivals in those Uzbek national championships. He's got national team coaches in his corner here, I think, actually, talking of Kilachev. So there goes the final bell. And that's a victory of, that's a kind of moral victory in a way for Latypov. I think that's how he'll look at it, getting through the full 5 rounds. And I can understand that. As I said, there's no point in being reckless and gung-ho against somebody like Jalolov, because if you do that, he will just punish you. But he tucked up nicely. He never gave anything away. And he got caught with some solid shots. That's a good example there, and never really flickered. Didn't land much of any great note on Jalolov, that's true to say, and the Uzbek got through that one in a low gear there. That's just the reality, but Latypov was in with the very best there, so I think he can be pleased enough with what he did. So this our final fight. We will be getting our final announcement from our MC Rishi Panika in just a second. And we'll have some highlights for you coming right at the very end as well. So if you've joined us a little bit late and want to see what happened in the previous fights, just stick around for that. Showing you a little bit of action from each of the contests. Some really good fighters on show tonight. Called the IBA Champions Night for a good reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, your main event of the evening, your feature bout here at your IBA Champions Night, comes to a close after completing 5 3-minute rounds in a men's super heavyweight plus 92 kg division matchup. However, before we go to the scorecard, we'd like to kindly invite a very VVIP guest. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the reigning, undisputed IBA President of the World, дамы и господа, поприветствуем из Sarpukov, Россия, Umar Nazarovich Kremlin.
Umar Kremlev doing the presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your main feature of the evening here at your IBA Champions Night was proudly brought to you by Gold Caravan Travel Agency, Nirvana Investments, and of course our general partner Gazprom, who have kindly donated us the money of $30,000 for our winner and $20,000 for our follow-up. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to our judges' scorecard. After completing 5 3-minute rounds in a men's super heavyweight plus 92 kg division matchup, all your judges see it the same way, ruling in favor of your winner by points, declared by unanimous decision, and still undefeated Uzbek Okhlani, the big Uzbek, Bakhodir Jalolov.
So another win for Bakhodir Jalolov. That would have been 50 points to 45 on all of those judges' scorecards. There might have been some 10-8s in there, so maybe 50-44 possibly. A couple of pretty dominant rounds, but Latypov, as I say, I would never be critical of him in that situation. He's got a lot less experience than his opponent, and Jalolov he's on a different level to everybody else. He's shown that over the last few years. And I'll be fascinated to see what he does with his IBA boxing. They'll want him in that pro series. Why wouldn't he want to box in it? Why wouldn't he want to box in the Men's World Championships next year? this homeland of Uzbekistan, particularly when you've got $200,000, I beg your pardon, US dollars on offer for a gold medal. What he'll do beyond that, we'll have to wait and see, because he does have real ambitions as a pro, and you can't be constantly kind of interrupting that flow, but he seems to be able to switch between the two very, very easily. Very, very easily indeed. And he's got his young family in the ring there with him, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that brings us to a close right here at your IBA Champions Night. On behalf of the team, Gold Caravan, Nirvana Investments, Gazprom, the IBA, the UAE Boxing Federation. My name's been Rishi Paniker. Thank you, stay safe, and good night.